Right now to the president's third State of the Union address. It was Biden's biggest platform yet ahead of November's election.
Biden used it to unveil his plan to take on some of the biggest issues we're dealing with in the country. Some of the hot button topics included the war between Ukraine and Russia, women's reproductive rights, and inflation.
15 million new jobs in just 3 years. Unemployment at 50-year lows. Wages keep going up, inflation keeps coming down.
The president also scolded Republicans for not passing his bipartisan border security bill. He also announced an emergency military mission to build a port in war-stricken Gaza. It would deliver food, water, medicine, and shelter to Palestinian civilians.
For the leadership of Israel, I say this: humanitarian assistance cannot be a secondary consideration or a bargaining chip. Protecting and saving innocent lives has to be a priority.
Biden also blasted former President Donald Trump without naming him for, quote, bowing down to Russian President Vladimir Putin. In the Republican response, Alabama Senator Katie Britt slammed Biden, saying he's out of touch and doesn't understand the issues facing American families.
2 minutes after 6 now, Cafe 360 on Bardstown Road is giving up its extended liquor license for 6 months. That bar's been under recent scrutiny after a weekend shooting. All this means it'll no longer serve liquor from 2 until 4 a.m., at least for the next 6 months. The store's manager, who asked not to be on camera, says it's designed to prevent other acts of violence.
The business is pretty tough, but I have to make some strong decisions just to safeguard my neighborhood.
Sunday's shooting at Cafe 360 brought more attention to an ordinance that gives Metro's Alcohol Beverage Control the power to issue emergency liquor license suspensions. That passed out of committee 2 days ago and is waiting on a full vote from the Metro Council. Councilman Ben Reno Weber, who's been working on the ordinance, says this move will help make the Highlands safer.
We're seeing voluntary, proactive action to make our neighborhoods safer on the part of the businesses that are there, and that's being a good neighbor, and I'm just grateful.
Cafe 360 is also committed to hiring private security on weekends from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. And we'll tell you, the Metro Council members were supposed to vote on that ordinance last night, but its weekly meeting was canceled. So we'll keep you updated on its progress.
One of the men charged in the death of Bardstown mother Crystal Rogers wants his trial moved far away from the small Kentucky town. In newly filed court documents, attorneys for Brooks Houck are requesting a trial location outside of Nelson County. In the request, Houck and his team claim they cannot get a fair trial there or anywhere in central Kentucky because of media coverage of the case. They've now requested a change of venue to either Boyd County in eastern Kentucky or Owensboro in Davis County, citing similar demographics to Nelson County, but with no, quote, pattern of deep and bitter prejudice against Brooks. Houck is charged along with 2 other men, Steve and Joseph Lawson, in connection to Rogers' death. The request comes just days after Steve Lawson's attorney asked for his charges to be completely dropped, claiming Lawson had been promised immunity. Both motions will be heard when all 3 men appear in court on March the 21st.
The automatic rifle used in the old National mass shooting will be destroyed by the ATF. It's a move both the victims and family members of the shooter have been pushing to make happen. That rifle was used to kill 5 people and injure several others on April 10th of last year at the bank in downtown Louisville. The federal agency received the weapon during its investigation. That investigation is now over, which is why the destruction of the rifle has been authorized. It'll be destroyed no later than March 15th.
In an apparent protest of a pregnancy-related bill, Kentucky Democrats staged a walkout during a committee hearing in Frankfort. 3 lawmakers, including Representative Rachel Rourke from our area, are seen there at the bottom of your screen, getting up and leaving committee as House Bill 467 is introduced. The bill would require hospitals and birthing centers to provide or make referrals for patients to mental health support services if there's a diagnosis indicating the baby may die before or soon after birth. Opponents say the bill shames mothers who are losing children instead of providing a full scope of medical care. However, supporters say the bill is about compassion.
Our colleagues on the Democratic side all got up and left. And that's an atrocity, because when it comes to these type of issues, this is very important. And I want folk to understand we're just protecting the health and life of these children.
So I think this is a very compassionate piece of legislation that gives us the opportunity to support women and their families physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially.
After the walkout, the bill passed unanimously with the remaining members and now heads to the full House.